So I was just talking about obviousness and obvious insights and kind of both the frustration and joy of like them just pulsing in you and wanting to pulse out of you. And yeah, what's been going on lately, a lot of stuff that's been moving through on the obvious spectrums. Yeah, there's been a lot about like masculine and feminine energetics moving through. And yeah, I did like a 15-minute rant on this the other day, followed by like a 20-minute voice note rant to someone else. And yeah, what's the thing I want to talk about here? I want to focus. What's frustrating is I'm still in a phase with a lot of this where it feels like one of the like Pepe Sylvia walls in my head, where it's just red string connecting a dozen different things. And I can feel all of it. It's very tactile at the moment. So like I drop myself into it and I can feel like, oh, there's this texture here and this like gravitational pull over here. And when I go in this direction, I can feel the strings vibrating to go back that other direction. And it's all just there. And I don't have I'm not at the point with it yet where one of the things I like to say is like a map is a claim about what can be ignored. So like with a topographical map, what is important is the elevation of each feature, so on and so forth. And you can ignore flora, fauna, whatever, like millions of things that you can ignore for a topographical map, because what matters is the topography. And for me, I've just got this big ol' Pepe Sylvia wall map in my head, and I'm not at the point where I have really figured out what can be ignored. So it's more like me stumbling through a landscape and just every time something comes up, I'm like, right, and then there's this over there and it connects to this thing up here. Which is like electric and joyful, and I love it, but also requires me to, I think out loud best, and I think out loud in front of other people best. So it's been a lot of ranting lately. And at the moment, one of the things that is feeling fairly clear to me is something in the realm of the way that one aspect of feminine energetics is very much just like perception and receptivity, right? Like you are taking in, and especially you're taking in and perceiving and participating in the rhythms and cycles and flows of what is real. And yeah, noticing and participating in those. So when action is taken, it's much more action that is from this space of, participating in what already wants to occur, participating in and furthering the maintenance and stewardship of these natural rhythms and cycles, the natural bent of reality. And everyone contains masculine and feminine, so it's not like all women do that and that's what they do. And especially because, the thing I talked about a few days ago in a video, our culture is extremely dominated by masculine energetics and particular types of corrupted masculine energetics. So we push everyone to like develop more masculine side, which does end up with, people with a feminine energetic essence developing a masculine side much more often, and not always in healthier ways, but like still developing it much more than people with like a strong masculine essence developing their feminine side, because you don't have to. You're not forced to, and you're often like mocked and ridiculed for leaning in that direction regardless. But this does create a situation where, so just going back to the thing. So that feels like one of the core aspects of feminine energetics is perceiving, noting what wants to occur, what flows. And when we get into a lot of like spiritual and energy work type stuff, this is pretty much, as far as I can tell, like synonymous with feminine energetics. Everything that I just said is pretty much like most spiritual and energy work type books that you're going to look at. Overwhelmingly, the messages and like the modalities and everything in all of them is like, just like listen to the flow, perceive, attune yourself to what already wants to occur, attune yourself to like how to help it occur, how you can let it move through you, how you can propagate it, all this stuff. And yeah, almost leaves out entirely a lot of the masculine energetics around this, for good reason, I think. Yeah, like I said, we live in a culture that is dominated by corrupted masculine energetics. And a lot of the masculine impulses, like healthy masculine impulses, are increasingly hard to find your way to. There's like these endless black hole attractors all around it, where if you try to skate your way through to like, okay, what is a healthy masculine way to hold this? And you go too far in any direction, and you just fall into the black hole of like, oh, I've received 30 years of cultural messaging around this type of like working and directness, and this type of leaning into like imposing my will on things, and this type of dominating the world. And you just fall into that immediately. And yeah, so it's really fucking hard, which is why we need more than ever something around masculine energetics to be figured out. And just, yeah, the way that the important part of masculine energetics that I'm thinking about at the moment is, oh, fascinating. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, so it's something about, the phrase that's coming up is like executing on will and vision, essentially. So where where the more feminine energetic side of things is attuned to what is the case, what are the natural cycles of everything, lean with those, let those emerge, let them do things. Masculine side is like, okay, what would not happen on its own? What do you have to make happen if you want it to happen? And yeah, this overlaps a lot with, I've defined yin and yang before as like, yin is just letting energy go where it's going to flow. Yang is driving energy where it otherwise wouldn't go. And this feels, yeah, pretty core to a lot of this. And the connection between that is seeming increasingly just like obvious and direct, and like I'm feeling it more. So I feel like I could have like thought this in the years past, but the way that I'm feeling it is now frustrating, because I look everywhere and I see like, oh, this doesn't exist like almost anywhere, and this is frustrating. How do I do this? Where and yeah, I think I'm pretty well set up actually. But there has to be this connection on both sides, right? Like we've talked about the masculine side of like feminine dominant people. It is this way of like leaning into those natural cycles and kind of doing things that are helpful to them and in line and in accordance with them, that let them be more themselves, that let those cycles express themselves more than they would already. And yeah, you're helping it to do something that it wouldn't naturally do. That's like a masculine energetic drive. But it's like it's the feminine version of it. It is integrated with the feminine to, oh, here's this natural rhythm, and it's not quite going as far as it maybe wants to because of various factors, so we can like drive it to where it wants to and let it do that. Nice, cool. Masculine in service to a larger feminine. The flip side of that is, yeah, this masculine urge to like build something, do something, make something happen, execute on a vision that would not otherwise take care of itself, essentially. And yeah, the default like, black hole patterns that we fall into when trying to do this, kind of just look at the world around you. It's all these like nihilistic, self-serving, materialistic drives of, where there's kind of no internal vision. There's nothing deeply arising from like your deep values, from like the gods that you serve, from the divine, from the vows you took before you were born, from wherever, right? There's not much attunement to that level. So it just becomes this game of picking whatever metric is available, because there is that masculine drive of like, I have to do something, and I can feel that. That wants to come through me. I need to build something. I need to make something. I need to impose a vision on the world. It's like, all right, cool. What vision are you going to like build in the world that wouldn't otherwise exist unless you make it happen? Who knows? A lot of money? That seems like the thing I'm supposed to do. Let's try to make a ton of money. No, status. Let's get a massive amount of status. Sex would be good. Let's do that one. And yeah, just all these like materialistic power drives. Get a big building with your name on it. Get a bigger house. All of this type of stuff where, yeah, it's just bullshit. It's just all bullshit. It is bullshit when, you're kind of just good-hearting the divine. Not even good-hearting the divine. Yeah, it's more complicated than that. But yeah, all of this building energy, this directing energy, this making things happen that would not otherwise happen energy, it gets directed at just whatever. Like whatever the thing is that you absorbed from your family was good to do. Oh, that's another one for like mommy and daddy's approval. What are the things that mommy and daddy are going to say that I'm a good boy for doing? I'll become a doctor, I'll become a lawyer, I'll become a whatever. And you drive your energy at that to make it happen. And yeah, this is where like the missing feminine in masculine dominant people comes in. It's not actually that difficult. There's a compass inside of everyone where you can just dip into what is in your soul, what wants to happen, what the world wants to bring through you. And it becomes pretty fucking clear, pretty fucking quick. And you have to like keep constantly attuning to it and learn to stay with that compass and learn to build from that compass primarily. But I think most people, honestly, it's not even just like most masculine dominant people, but most people just don't have access to that. Because I'm saying a certain amount about like, the feminine gets to integrate the masculine in this culture, but it's usually wounded feminine integrating wounded masculine, which is not helpful to anyone. And it's not integrating, it's just they get mixed and tangled further. But it does create a situation where more often there's a chance for like feminine dominant people to, develop healthy feminine, and then from there to move into healthy masculine and integrate that. Doesn't happen crazy often, but it does happen far more often than the opposite side does, because of just the way that incentives and the way that we live is set up. So yeah, what's the core point here I'm getting at? The core point here is a certain amount of frustration with, and sadness about the way that these really shitty attractor basins exist. And whenever we try to, I just see over and over again, people start leaning into masculine stuff. There's like build, make, impose your will, have a vision. And there's not actually a vision there. There's not actually will there. They're just running a program of, what does my family say is the thing I'm supposed to like drive myself at? What does my culture say are the good things to drive myself at? What are the right things? What can no one else argue with me about if I just, like, everyone agrees if you get a ton of money, you are worthwhile and you did a good thing. So go at the money, do that. And yeah, part of it is there's just no imagination. It's incredibly unimaginative, which frustrates me. Very uncreative. And also just it's very unattuned, and it leads to a world that is the world we have, where everyone's just thrashing. It's just thrashing about trying to make a mark. This phrase people use, like world denting, or needing to like make a dent in the world. That says a lot to me, where a dent is not a good thing. You're not like excited to have someone make a dent in your car. But if there's nothing else that you can really say, I did this and I exist and this is here because of me, then just having a dent that you can write your name in must seem pretty appealing, I guess. No idea how the sound is. A guy came up and started bouncing a ball off a tree. Where am I at? I'm essentially somewhere that I've been for a couple years. I'm just on another layer of the spiral. It's the wayfinding thing, it's the, attuning to the deep currents of reality and moving from there thing. I'm just realizing a lot more about the moving from there and the two sides of this pull. Where, it is good to attune very deeply to reality, to the patterns, to the rhythms that are there. And there's this urge to build and direct something that the patterns would not create on their own, to direct life, matter, energy into something that otherwise would not happen. And if you do that from a place that's just falling into an unconscious attractor, you end up with a world that is filled with endless, ugly buildings and destroyed nature and a bunch of people trying to put their name on stuff and a bunch of people thinking that power and money and whatever else is going to make them happy and fulfilled. And that's going to do the thing. It's like, no, you're not building the thing that reality wants you to build. You're not directing your energy towards what reality wants to become. You're just picking a random metric to channel your energy into, and that's not helpful. That is thrashing. It's not helpful to reality. It's also not helpful to you. This is where we get all these people who are deeply unhappy with their lives. Like, I did all of the things that I was supposed to do. I climbed the ladder, I made the money, I had, all these things. I got the wife and the kids and the house and the job, and I'm still not satisfied. How did that happen? It's like, you didn't listen to the compass in your marrow, dude. Listen to the compass in your marrow. Tap into some amount of your, deep feminine perception of the currents of reality. Because that's the other piece of this is, I don't want to use the word sustainability, but there is something about sustainability here, where if you're not attuned to the rhythms and cycles and currents of reality, and you just start building whatever, doing whatever, directing your energy at whatever, you're building in an earthquake zone. You're building in a forest fire zone. You are building right in the path of a tsunami, because you didn't look and go, oh, tsunamis come through here every single year. Maybe I shouldn't direct all of my life energy into setting up something that is against, not just like not in rhythm, but like directly against and in the path of the rhythms of reality and nature. Fascinating. And I don't know, people's lives tend to get built that way. Where people are just, find themselves deeply unhappy and deeply unfulfilled and end up at a point in their life where they start making really strange or stupid or just fucked up decisions. Because it's just their life force trying to chew themselves out of a trap. It's like a fox chewing its leg off. Because, they built something that is completely unsustainable. They made a life for themselves that is not directed from any type of actual inner vision. It's just what they fell into, what they kind of thought they were supposed to do. And it doesn't work. That never works. You can't run out the clock on life and just hope it never catches up with you. If you're honest with yourself, it has already caught up with you. Look in your heart. You're not doing great, man. I've seen enough of this at this point to know you're not doing great if you're not aligned with your values and with your vision and with what wants to come through you. And that connection feels increasingly like everything, because I'm inside of it, so it feels like everything at the moment. I'm on the Pepe Sylvia wall. I am in the thing. But this connection where there's a huge amount of like very beautiful masculine energy, very beautiful like drive and ambition and wanting to like direct energy at things and make them happen. And almost all of it, like 99 points, endlessly repeating 9% of it, is just driven at nothing, at things that don't need to exist, that should not exist, driven at visions that are, what just came up is like visions that are blind. It's just a blind vision. Just this childish urge to make a dent in reality and paint your name on it so that you can say, yes, my name is somewhere on reality. Cool. Got a helicopter. So this rant has gone long enough. I was really hoping to do this one in 5 or 6 minutes, but that is not the human that I am at the moment. I'm wanting to sum up for myself, but I will wait until this helicopter goes away. Oh wow, that's surprisingly close. He disappeared. Anyway. Yeah, so just summing this up for myself. Yeah, something about the necessary connection between healthy masculine and healthy feminine. And the ways that that is uniquely difficult for masculine, because we have so many bad attractors that pull us into templates and patterns that do not work for this stuff. And that makes it really, really hard to navigate the field of black holes to find the ones that do. And that oh yeah, so this is a core point that I missed. Yeah, and that this is what is most beautiful and most needed about integrating the feminine, is that the feminine is that compass, like that feminine energetic of just attuning deeply to reality without trying to change it, without trying to impose yourself on it, without, yeah, needing to like instrumentalize it for you. Which is, again, almost impossible, because when masculine energetics start going towards the feminine, they tend to fall into this black hole of like, oh good, the more that I know about the currents of reality, the more I can control them and help them do what I want to. And impose my own weird nihilistic programmed unconscious wills on it. It's like, no, buddy, don't do that. Not again. But yeah, that there is this incredibly deep compass where you can attune to your own soul and to what wants to come through you, to the currents of reality inside of you, the vows you made before you were born, the gods that you belong to, however we want to phrase this, the divine will for you, the unfold, like your dharma, all of this stuff. You can sink in deeply and attune to that, but you have to take time to just be with that and attune to it for the sake of being with it and attuning to it, not as some instrumental thing. Because the instrumental thing just fucks up every time. Every single time. It'll fuck you up. And yeah, we'll get to... I'll talk about more of this later, I am sure. But that's kind of the through line, is the only way out of corrupted, wounded, masculine, dominating, controlling, building unsustainable, needless bullshit thing is to attune deeply to the feminine compass inside. And that's not a thing that is really taught, or that most masculine folks know how to do or know is an option, really. And yeah, that's very sad to me, and also feels like something, feels like something I want to do something about.